When you get your first job in life, it is tempting to take that first paycheck and splurge on something you've always wanted. A PS5, a fancy dinner, or maybe a new iPad. And I'm not saying you shouldn't reward yourself. In fact, I'll tell you what, go ahead and take that first paycheck you earned and go crazy with it. Buy those shoes you've been eyeing. Get that latest iPhone model. Go for it. And 2 days later, when you realize you don't have enough left over to eat at Taco Bell, come back and watch the rest of this video. Because this is where you learn how teens like you should use their money to best prepare for the future. This is actually part 2 of the Investing for Teenagers series. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go do that first, and then come back here. No worries, I'll wait. Done? Great! Because while I talked about having the right mindset for investing in that video, in this one, we're going to give you 6 specific actions to secure your ability to invest for the future. Here's the thing, you can't invest money if you don't have any to start with, right? So, the first step is to get a job. And not just any job, but I want you to get a second job. Or, specifically, I want you to build a side hustle. As a teen, holding a full-time job is pretty rare. I mean, you have school, friends, and family obligations. Most jobs take place while you're taking classes. That is why, on top of that part-time job you have at the mall making hot dogs on a stick, I want you to start up an online side hustle. Not sure how? Well, you can check out this video where I talk about some great side hustles you can do. But here's a quick list of a few options off the top of my head. Start a blog, create user-generated content for social media on Fiverr, review products you like on YouTube or TikTok, start affiliate marketing, learn a sellable skill like web or graphic design, upsell clothing from Goodwill on Mercari or Poshmark. There are literally dozens and dozens of ways you can start making money online right now. And really, this is only partially about making money. It is also about the experience of building your own online business and mastering a craft. Will you fail? Maybe. Probably. Failing isn't the problem. It is about how you dust yourself off and get back up to pivot and adjust your approach. Side hustles are amazing at helping you build skills, overcome challenges, learn how to manage a business, and also build that extra stream of income. The second action is to open a bank account. If you've already done this, then great. But if you are over 18 and you don't have your own bank account yet, go open one now. You can find online banks like Ally Bank where they don't have any fees or minimum balances. If you want a brick and mortar bank, that works too. Most banks have no fee starter accounts for students under 25. Shop around and find the best deal. Credit unions are also amazing institutions. What they lack in flashy marketing and brand recognition, they make up for in services, amazing loan rates, and low fees. If you want to start investing, you need a bank account. So take that hard-earned side hustle money and put it in the bank. For now. But we'll talk more about that in a moment. The third action is going to seem strange and counterintuitive as a budding investor, but bear with me. What I want you to do is get a credit card. I know, you probably assume that credit cards are often either too tempting to use or not for people who want to save money to invest. But that is just the top level of credit card use. Yes, you need to use it responsibly. But the true value of a credit card isn't the spending power. It is in how it helps you develop credit. Your credit score is the biggest way to leverage other people's money for your future investments. You might not want to buy a car or invest in real estate right now, but if you start building up your credit rating today, you'll be prepared when the time comes. Of course, if you don't have credit, how can you get a card? Well, if you can't piggyback on your parents' card, then I recommend getting a secured card through your bank. A secured card is to a standard credit card what Mint Mobile is to T-Mobile. You put your money on the card first, and then you can use the card against your balance. Why do this instead of using a standard debit card? Because after a few months or a year of responsible use with a secured card, most banks will allow you to upgrade to a standard credit card account. I actually did this back when I was trying to build my credit, and within a year, I went from having a $200 secured credit card to qualifying for a $2,000 unsecured Visa card. And my credit only went up from there. The fourth action is to open an investment account through an online brokerage. Finally, we're actually going to start investing your money. And I know that the idea of opening a brokerage account might seem intimidating, but it really isn't much different than opening up that bank account from step 2. In fact, I have a whole video where I talk about the best places to open up a retirement or investing account. Link is in the description below. The idea here isn't to throw all of your money into Apple stock. I recommend buying small quantities of a broad-based index fund or ETF. These funds allow you to purchase hundreds or thousands of well-performing companies all at once. And yes, I have a whole video where I explain those too. Link down below. This is really about getting in the habit of regularly putting your money towards your investments. Even $10 from every paycheck is a good place to start. As a habit builds, so will your investments. Consistency is the key. The fifth action is to start a retirement account, specifically a Roth IRA. What is a Roth IRA? You can think of this as a way to safeguard your savings against future taxes. A lot of times with retirement accounts, you have to pay a big chunk of money to the IRS when you withdraw it at retirement, but not so with a Roth IRA. Again, just like your investment account, this isn't about dumping a truckload of cash in this account all at once. Put away a few dollars from each paycheck. More if you can, but the focus should be on building up the habit. Before you know it, you'll be growing some serious wealth for the future. And yes, I have a video where I talk about the difference between various retirement accounts. Did you have to ask? That link is also in the description. The sixth and final action is going to sound funny. I want you to go have fun with your money. I know, your head is probably spinning now, but hear me out. Everyone advises you to save money at a young age. They want you to practice a lifestyle of abstinence from spending and buying everything at a discount. And sure, that is generally good advice if you're a teenage robot. But here's the thing. Life is about balance. Sacrificing your youth for the sake of a few dollars isn't a very enjoyable way to live. Want to go to the movies? Sure, once in a while isn't gonna hurt. Need to replace your broken cell phone? Go ahead and upgrade to the latest iPhone. The issue is only when you spend excessively, far outside of your means. It is, once again, about building good habits. Buy things you enjoy, but that still allows you to invest for the future. Don't go beyond your means, because debt and excessive consumer spending can really derail your life. In the future, you probably won't regret having spent $20 on an overpriced popcorn at the movies, but you will regret not spending quality time with the people you care about. Make those great memories, but do it with balance. After all, what good is investing for the future if the future you're building is one of regret and disappointment? Be young, enjoy life, but also plan and prepare for your future. You can have both. In fact, you can actually retire in just 10 years. Can you imagine going to your 10 or 15-year high school reunion, and when people ask what you do for a living, you can say, "I'm retired"? Well, in this video, I show you exactly how you can make that happen. So check that out, and I'll see you there!